Joining me now, U.S. Oil and Gas Association President Tim Stewart. Tim, it just amazes me when I look at tapping the SPR, 1 million barrels a day. It's such a small drop in the bucket when it comes to our consumption here in the United States, or even if you look globally. And I think back to when in March, before the pandemic started, when we were at 13 million barrels a day. If we were back there, that would be another 2 million barrels. And if we could have gotten our shale producers higher, we could potentially have 3 or 4 million extra barrels a day rather than, dipping our paws into the SPR.
Jackie, that's a great point. The reserve was created in the 70s to absorb price shocks from global events. What's overlooked is the U.S. shale revolution unlocked a resource that's 100 times bigger than anything we'd ever put in the reserve. We unlocked billions of barrels of new oil and gas in the United States. And that actually protected us for several years. Every time there's a Saudi facility that would get droned or some OPEC nation would get sanctioned, the domestic production levels absorbed those price shocks, and consumers never even noticed that here in the United States. I think if we're being honest, a volatile price climate doesn't necessarily constitute a national emergency. But if you're a Democrat, it constitutes a national political emergency. It's one of your own creation. And frankly, that's what I think the administration and Congress is trying to deal with. It takes about 13 days from the time you order a release from the reserve to get into the system. And it was mentioned earlier, markets are always pricing 15 to 90 days out. The most recent Biden releases actually from the reserve had the opposite effect. I think it was 18% increase in prices after those very modest releases were announced.
Right.
And so there may be some unintended consequences here.
Well, futures traders essentially look at, supply-demand dynamics, and they see tapping the SPR, albeit, for an extended period of time now, but they know that it's temporary, yet the conflict in Ukraine could continue. So when they think about pricing the futures 6 months out, they're saying essentially there's not really going to be a change, to the guest's point, as Hillary brought up there. But I want to bring up another issue with you, because so many different strategies have been raised by this White House to try to, help with production issues, certainly not domestically here at home. One of them is to try to get OPEC to boost output. It just said that it wouldn't do that. Another is to try this, to re-sign the nuclear deal with Iran, possibly to go to Venezuela. Voters are taking a look at this, and they're split on what they think the administration should do. But I will point out that only 33% say they want imports from Iran and Venezuela. But the others are quite interesting. Should the administration approve oil and gas pipelines, which it has said it won't do? Should they increase domestic production? They clearly don't want to do that. Increase renewable sources. 75% think that's the way to go. Your thoughts?
So the only way to mitigate this historic trend we just mentioned is the administration, fine, go release a third of the reserve, put it into the market, but you have got to couple that with an incredibly aggressive retooling of your message. You need to send the signal to the markets, to the global markets, that the administration supports the domestic oil and gas industry of the United States. It's going to be very difficult for them to do, because there's such a long record of recent data of the administration beating my guys about the head and shoulders about what we do. But the poll you just mentioned shows that the public supports all of those points, and I think that's what gives them cover. You brought up another interesting point, if I could, real quick, which is about this sort of trying to open up a line of credit, so to speak, with the Saudis or the Iranians or the Venezuelans. The thing that nobody talks about is the impact on national security. The Department of Defense spends $20 billion a year in energy costs, and every $10 increase in a barrel of oil is about $1 billion a year. That is a national security issue, because that comes directly out of their operational costs and our readiness. And so the Iranians and the Russians know this, and when it's kind of foolish to go knock on their door and say, hey, help us out here, when it's a national security issue more than anything.
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons that Vladimir Putin chose to invade Ukraine at this moment in time is because he sees the United States as weak. We've got a massive inflation problem on our hands. And also, he could see the handwriting was on the wall with production going down here and oil prices going up anyway. It really, Tim, was, essentially the perfect storm for him, and he took advantage of it. So we'll be watching to see how it all plays out. Tim Stewart, thank you.